I wanted to talk this evening about building our networks. Um, so I think the first thing that come to mind when most people thinking about networking is just getting to meet a bunch of people, or just collecting a bunch of information. And that is a piece of it, but that shouldn't be the first piece anyway. Um, you should only kind of be doing those, networking with or collecting information of the people that can benefit you essentially. Now of course there's times where we don't know everything that everybody is into, so just because they might not be presenting that or we don't know them for that, that we can't figure out some way, or they can't figure out some way to be useful to us. But as far as what we do know about people, at least with that information, we have to be targeted and strategic about who it is that we're going to meet, who we need to meet. So that's what I want to kind of give a quick little spiel about.
Okay.
All right, so with our networking, first thing we need to make sure we're doing is setting a specific goal. So if you're going to go to a networking event, for example, what is my goal for going to this event? We don't want to go with just the let me meet as many people as possible. We want to go with these possible people or this type of person, or a person that does this type of thing from at least this specific niche or specific industry or something, and then let's go and find that. So there's, no matter what industry you're in, outside of the people that you need to buy something from you, you can think of 4 or 5 people or 4 or 5 other industries that connections with can improve and help you, improve your levels, your chances of success, and help you achieve your goals, right? So let's say if we knew a printer, and we developed a relationship with a printer, we can probably get higher quality prints at better prices because we met them intentionally and then ended up developing a genuine relationship with, but everything started from business. So the goal was, I need this to grow my business, let me go and network for that. Instead of just grabbing a whole bunch of random people, you got to sort through and figure out who gonna do what where. At least fulfill what it is you need, build your team so you can move how you need to move and have all your resources in line, because that's what you're going out there getting when you're networking, your resources. You're not going to go to make friends. Like, if we make friends, cool, that's secondary, that's icing on the cake. But when I go to network, I'm not going to make friends. And yes, I'm friendly. Yes, I'm charismatic. So yes, people have a good time and feel good and we're gonna laugh and all that stuff. Or we're gonna learn some things. It's gonna be introspective conversation. But again, that's icing on the cake. That's not what I'm there for. I'm there to further my purpose, and I need pieces in order to do that, because nobody can do it on their own. So that's what I'm networking, what I'm going for. So once we know who we looking for, then we know where to go get them again, right? So then we're networking within those industries, or when we run across those people, the bell is ringing or whatever, and then we spend more time in developing that. versus kind of just trying to meet any and everybody. And yes, you kind of don't know who knows who, but in the light of being efficient and knowing that we ain't got all the time in the world, all our time is limited, we're going to use our time wisely and strategically. So networking, friends is second. Like, I'm sure most of us got enough friends and family members and stuff that we ain't even got enough time for as it is. So to be going out and just racking up more and more new friends, if a friendship comes from it, if relationship comes from it, great. We love when that happens. But the best relationships are when both parties or all parties involved get something from it. So if I can use you and you can use me, that's the best relationship. So that's what we're going to look. We're going to look for people that, might sound bad, but we're going to look for people that we can use. And we're going to look to see who we can be useful to. And that's how we networking. So that's when we find them a bunch of different ways, but figuring out, the archetype of the person first makes it easy to find them, right? So if we need curators, we're looking to build relationships with curators. That's something, is probably not going to be a one person filled thing. We need to have multiple curators, kind of in our bucket, to have that 1 out of 5 kind of things filled, right? So now we need to network to find them. There's professional curator organizations that are open to the public that you can literally just join, and there's hundreds of curators in them. So like the Association of Art Museum Curators. If you want to get in a museum, you should probably be meeting some museum curators. They have meetings. They have events. That's where you should be networking. So you should meet some of them. Even if they can't pull you in directly, because they're going to be having specialties typically. So, they might be over Indian art or something. You don't do Indian art, but you can learn and they can point you in the right direction. I'm sure there's a bunch of tips they can give you, a bunch of inside information that they can give you that's really nuanced to museum spaces and stuff. So again, if you're strategic and you create a goal, my goal is to do this, and then all the actions you take are goal based, then we're going to get these slots filled, and then we're going to see progress. So you have the Society of American Archivists, American Association of Art. There's a bunch of different ones just in that, just trying to find curators. So some goals that, you might have, because I know sometimes artists might be like, what should I be trying to do? And I never want to make people do anything specific, because I don't want you to resent me, and I don't want you to start going down the journey and be like, I wasted time, I should have went this other way or whatever. I don't think anything really is a waste of time, but I want you to choose, and based on your goals, we can help get you there. But some examples could be getting some studio space. So you can literally start networking for that, or you can start doing actions around that. But we got to write that goal first, and then take goal-oriented actions versus just doing actions for the sake of saying I did something, for being busy. It could be getting well known in the X type of artist space, whatever that type of artist space is going to be. Because you're looking for the smallest pond you could possibly be in the beginning, so you become a bigger fish faster. So the more unique you are, the stranger you are, the more nuanced you are, the better. If you do erotic art, cool. If you do not only erotic, if you do maybe sadistic or something like that or whatever, I don't judge anything. I'm not gonna buy that, but you do what you do. Somebody gonna buy it. 8 billion people in the world, somebody gonna buy it. But that's just not for me. But once you got your thing, bam, now we know, we gonna work on becoming the biggest fish in that pond. We know who to target, we getting, BDSM events, whatever, all types of stuff. Like it becomes a lot easier once we actually set a freaking goal, right? We can't hit a target we never even set, we can't see. So set that first. Getting in more exhibitions could be a goal, which is, general one. I like to be less general about that because there's a bunch of different ways into exhibitions. You can pay your way into exhibitions. I don't necessarily think you want to stay in that space, even if you have to start in that space. But there's ways, do nonprofits and all that you can still come in as a fresh green artist and, get in without paying as well too. But we got to set that goal first, right? And then what type of exhibits you want to be a part of, because most professional exhibits have themes. So, again, what part we want to be a part of. So, creating more public art could be an example of a goal that you have. Once we had that goal and we start networking to do, moving that way, maybe we're attending more city planning meetings now. Maybe we're attending more art council meetings now. Maybe we're definitely writing proposals because we're not leaving up to the non-creatives to be creative and come up with some shit. Like we see this that currently doesn't exist in our mind because we're creative, so we write that up and then we show them, and then they're like, oh, cool, I'd love to see this manifest, and then they cut the check. So but we have to create that goal first and then start networking with strategy towards these goals. Like I'm very strategic in my networking and nourishing my relationships, making sure I pop up at other people's stuff when I can to support, that's networking. Not necessarily looking to grow, new friends and everything. So I don't really mess with people like that. So I just, nope. So remember, your friends group is not your network. So now some of your friends might be in your network as well, but your friends group is not your network. So let your network work. Your network works for you. Your friends don't work for you. So again, we're looking for business relationships because we're all in the art business. They have like event planner conventions and meetings and all of that stuff, like depending on, based on some of your goals, maybe you should be hitting some of those up if you're looking to get into, more spaces. Like again, once you set the goal, strategies kind of just start coming, at least, to me. But that's first and foremost. So you build your team based off your goal, your network based off your goal. figure out who you need to talk to, and then get to where they're gonna be. You go there because they're there. So again, I'm very efficient. So when I come out the house, I need an account. So I'm going to, pick and choose which events I'm gonna be at, so I can store my energy up and my social battery up before I go to the events. So I don't look all crazy, not talking to nobody by myself in the corner. But I go because I know it's probability of this person being there and probability of this person being there. Or it's something going on where I need to figure out how to infiltrate, how to be a part of what's going on. I need to go and scope it out, see how it's moving. It's usually you can identify who's in charge relatively quick. And you kind of start taking it from there. See if you can see who they talk to, because that's how you're gonna probably know they're in charge, because you see them giving orders to people, or people coming to them with issues and they troubleshooting and all of that, or they hosting, or greeting or whatever. You're gonna figure out who's what. They collecting the money, from the people collecting the money. So the people collecting the tickets at the door, then they come from them and get the money and bring it somewhere else. That's probably who you need to talk to. Or they know who you need to talk to, definitely. Then maybe see who they're talking to. Introduce yourself to that person. Get them to introduce you to them. I'm strategic like that. But it works. Because I set a goal. So have something exciting that you're working on to talk about. No. Have something exciting that you're working on to talk about, or you're researching to work on, or you're about to break ground on, or because people do love to talk about themselves. It usually leads, them to saying you're a great conversationalist. You really just listen and encourage them to continue to speak. So, or you can find out what they're working on and get really excited about it. Like, figure out how to help them on it. Praise the great ideas about it. Offer an idea too. Make it even better. If you got 2 ideas, give them one so they can see your brilliance. And then tell them, you know what? I think I got something else in mind, so we should talk about that. Let's catch up sometime. Bam, you just set a meeting. Whether or not you put a date and time on it, you just plant a seed in their head, though. We're going to continue this conversation, which is developing the relationship. Talking to a gallerist, how often you guys, switch up the exhibitions, and how long does it take to organize the exhibition, and do you ever get a break in between? Would you like a break in between, but still be able to have art up and people coming through your place to see and buy art? I would love to send you a curatorial proposal, so we can get a show on here that you can benefit from, that you didn't have to bust your butt on. That's helping them. Now, of course, everybody ain't gonna say yes and be like cool, or some people gonna ask you for more credentials, more proof of what you can do, and portfolios and all of that type of stuff. What artists you got in mind, and I need to see their works and all of that stuff too. It could get tedious from there, but every single part of every job ain't gonna be fun. Shoot, I gotta write up something now. Basically, yeah, doing that, showing proof of what is obvious that I do. It's like, all right, you want to see video clips, you want to see this and that, so I gotta put something together. But I proposed the idea. But once I'm in there, that's gonna lead to more stuff, so I don't, whatever introductions from there, because I'm getting vouched for, I ain't gotta go do all of that. Plus, they gonna see. They're gonna see. It's like, look, I just did this for your friends. Not necessarily friends, it's organization, but you know them. You know they serious. You know they vet. They got me. The work's already been done for you. So a lot of times it's about getting in, because nepotism is beautiful from the inside. And again, vetting is a process, so a lot of times people don't want to continue to go through that. So when they find their people, they want to rock with their people. They don't want to have to keep, looking for somebody. They want to be like, oh, I got this person. So you gotta get in. But if you ain't strategic, it's gonna be a lot harder. You're gonna find yourself just running around, bouncing, throwing stuff out the wall, hoping this stick, hoping this, this catch, this get a bite. It's the long way around. So that is all I had for today.